Why, hello everyone. I'm here to do a small, concise review, I hope, of the movie Star Angel playing on Netflix right now. It's the end of November. I hope it continues on through the new year. This movie is novelistic. It is French, so there are subtitles. Please don't leave the movie because of that. It's a 2 hour and 15-minute movie. Please stay with the movie because you will not regret it. It is a long run time. It does have subtitles. Let's get over it. It's an LGBT story, but it's not an LGBT story in the sake of an LGBT story. It's just a regular movie, and that it's flawless from start to finish, which is such a rarity anymore. To have smooth flow from beginning to end, to be in complete calm and comfortability, if that's even a word, with what this movie is and where it goes. A phenomenal soundtrack. Songs I haven't heard in so long that when I hear them in this movie, it just makes me so nostalgic, because this movie is set in 1993. So this is the early 90s. This is the wild, wild west of the end of the wild, wild west, basically, before 9/11 and Napster, and, when art was really art, music was selling, R&B, pop, country, rap, hip-hop, death metal, grunge. Everything was at its peak. It all had an audience. Millions of records were being sold. Art was still gritty. Things that were on MTV were important, and fashion was getting huge, in the early 90s. And Jacques is our main character. Artur is kind of like a main character, though. And Jacques is a 40-year-old writer living in Paris, France, and he is HIV positive. But this is not a movie about health or the politics of health or illness. It's not that kind of movie, so you don't have to worry about it. This is a novelistic. It is not a tired, old, unoriginal film. This film is beautiful. It did well at Cannes. The lead actor, these must be the A-list of the A-list French actors. He was in Stranger by the Lake, which was another Netflix hit. I think I've said everything I need to say about that. But this movie, from start to finish, the 2 hour and 12 minute, I think it's 2 hour and 12 minute runtime, is not a big, you will love it. You're just going to love the cinematography, the directing, the writing, the acting, the beautiful sets. Although this is set in Paris, this isn't a sunny Parisian film. This is in the winter time, maybe October, November, December, January, February, March. It's kind of drab. And we meet Jacques, who is this. He has a young soul, and he has an observant soul, and he has so much going for him. He has many friends. There's so many characters in this film that have about, maybe 30 seconds to 2 minutes of screen time that come in and out of his life that kind of tell his narrative, his story, a little bit more about him. His neighbor is his best friend. They live in the same building. Well, neighbors live in the same building, but I think his neighbor either lives above him or below him. And he has a son, and he's in a good relationship with the son's mother. I don't know if it was ever a romantic relationship or if he was a sperm donor. I just don't know. It doesn't really say. But he loves his son, and he takes care of his friends, and he takes care of people that are valuable to him. He's very much a character you fall in love with almost from the start. You know who he is when you just see the way he interacts. It's a French film, subtitles, but it doesn't have that sensibility of art for the sake of art or exposition. This is a very, very good movie. And Artur is this character. He's a college student. He's young. He represents the next generation to Jacques. They meet at a screening of The Piano in Artur's hometown, which is about 2 hours outside of Paris. And I think that Jacques was there because he wrote a play, and then after the play, they all went to see the Piano, which at the time I think was a new release in 1993. So Jacques loves the movie. I love the movie. But Artur's kind of bored. He's just sitting there, and he looks over, and he's glancing over, and he sees Jacques. And Jacques sees Artur, and they're da-da-da. And they meet up later. They talk about meeting up later. Of course, all these people are interrupting. They're trying to get together and talk to each other. Before I go on, Artur is just full of energy, full of youthful energy, full of life, and he definitely would have been someone that would. Okay, when Jacques and Artur get together, Jacques has seen a couple of his friends, one that he's taking care of, go downhill with the disease. And I think he's really at a point in his life where he doesn't want any new lovers. He's visited some old lovers. But Artur has this thing about him that is so charming and puppy dog lovish that Jacques just can, as much as he's trying to fight it, he just can't. He can't. This is someone who is operating on an intellectual level with him, who's younger and really gets the whole thing. And it's just a beautiful start to ending film, quality, incredible soundtrack, songs I haven't heard in so long. I hope I'm not repeating myself. I've tried to do this review forever and ever have. I've done it like 1,700 times and I just can't do it properly. Okay, I'm going to just say, I don't think that Jacques and Artur would have been a monogamous relationship. Like I said, the health aspect of this film is only at the very end. And towards the end, Jacques, who, with all his effort to try to keep Artur at bay, can't, because Artur is just too smitten with Jacques. And something's starting to happen to Jacques. He goes to the hospital and his test results aren't so good with his cell counts or whatever. But he's like, I really want to go see Artur. I want to drive out to see him. And you can tell things are starting to get a little downhill because he wants to borrow his neighbor's car. It's a funny scene in a very, very beautiful film that I don't know how to put in a genre. It's certainly not a romantic comedy. It's certainly not a dramedy. It's not an intense drama, but it's just a beautiful story. So he gets in the car and he realizes this is like a 2-hour, 3-hour drive, and I'm just not going to have the stamina for this like I would have like a week ago or a month ago. It's kind of sad. It kind of breaks your heart. But, Artur goes to Paris, and there's this very complex, should we meet, should we not meet, should I let him go with, Jacques is talking to his neighbor, his best friend about this. And it's kind of a realistic relationship in the 1990s, and how they meet back then, when it was still so taboo, and the only way that guys could really meet was to cruise or go out at night, like Clinton Strachey in the movie Carrington. He says the nighttime is when everything, gets magical, and there's all this, possibility. And Jacques and Artur have definitely both, in 1993, met people like this way. Like I said, I don't think Artur and Jacques would have been a long-term thing. I don't think, but because Artur was the last. He's the last puppy love, everything about you. I need to learn more. It's when all the possibility and everything about the person that you are falling for it enamors you even more. And we really feel the decay of letting go of what your expectation is for yourself, and then having to let go of that too, to honor love and to honor desire, and to accept that this inevitable thing is coming, but should I run from these emotions and these feelings and this physical love, and it just breaks your heart. Like the last 10 minutes of the film are the only time we really get into that aspect of it, and to watch Jacques try to have a reckoning with himself, and what's that called when you negotiate with himself? I don't know. It's just it's a 2-hour and 12-minute movie too, and so there's, like I said, a lot of characters. There's a lot of scenes. There's a lot of moments to just savor that you wish you could make tangible and wrap around yourself in a blanket, because this is a great love story. And I know that love stories are just like, everyone's like, oh, you should watch it because it's a great love story. It's a great love. This really is. Like, this is like not a tired, unoriginal piece of crap. This is quality. This is, you have to watch this while it's still on Netflix. You know what I mean? And it's one of those movies you can watch over and over and over and over. There's just something fun and whimsical and beautiful about it every single time. It's like Terminator 2. Like, that movie, the action scenes never get old to me. And Sorry Angel, the romanticism, the symbolism, the beauty of the soundtrack and the setting and I can't believe. But you know I love to review these little obscure movies like Diane that came out in 2019 that's like sweeping the independent award season right now, and Destroyer with Nicole Kidman. So you know these are the kind of movies that I really love to talk about. I hope I included everything. This is the 1700th time I've tried to film this because issues with neighbors and just getting in the mood where I can project all this love that I have for this film and love that I think that you all will have for this film, and that everyone who is a film connoisseur or just needs a nice, you know, non-Marvel action hero movie to sit through and just like, you know, is it ruminate? I don't know, but it's definitely quality, and it's smooth, and its flow is awesome. It's never too much, and it's never too less or too little. And I hope you watch this movie, and I hope that taking 11 minutes to tell you about this was worth it for you, because I really love this film. I love Futura Beach. The Europeans know how to do these kind of stories. The European countries, they really, really like Land of Storms, a Hungarian film, I think, German-Hungarian. All right, so watch this movie, please. Just give it a chance, even if you're not feeling it from the start. Give it a chance, okay? Okay. Sorry, Angel. It's for you. Lots of love.